Hello, and thank you for joining us today for a demonstration of AirStrip ONE's OB module. From your phone, you will see the AirStrip ONE application icon. You can see it here, in the upper left-hand corner of the phone's home screen. After the application is downloaded and set up on the user's phone, the user will tap the application icon to launch AirStrip ONE. After clicking the AirStrip ONE application icon, you will be taken to the site screen. This screen consists of all the sites available to the user. These sites are configured in the AirStrip management portal. Most clinicians will have only a few sites listed. For this demonstration, we will be using a hospital with only simulated patient data. Clicking on the site image will prompt the user to log into the site. You can use the device's Face ID, or enter the credentials manually. Once authenticated, all available site options are presented in a list, which includes all the patients for which a user has access. Selecting My Patients will bring up an OB census list. The census list is typically grouped by unit, and sorted within units by last name. Our sample patients list includes 2 units, and patients listed alphabetically by last name. If users would like to sort their census differently, they may select the up and down arrows icon in the upper right corner of the screen. This will present the user with different criteria to group and sort by. Once the change is made, select Apply and the census list is updated with the new criteria. A user can also filter the census by units. If they only want to see and work within a single unit, they can clear the list and select the one unit they wish to see. These settings are saved and persist for a user. If the user logs out and logs back into the system later in the day, the selected criteria will still be applied to future sessions. Let's return to our initial settings. I'm going to add all of the patients back, and then update the sort to the patient's last name. As you can see, we have a lot of patient information listed for each patient in the list. We have the patient's first and last name along with their age, across the top. You can see their physician's name, as well as the patient's MRN, cervical exam status, the nurse's name, and the patient's room number. Notice the dots to the left of the patient name. Those are our dilation dots, and correlate with the progress of the labor and the dilation of the patient's cervix. Lastly, we have a search box at the top of the census list, which allows the user to search the list by physician name, MRN, and patient name. You can see if we type in DO, it will return all the patients with data matching the search text entered. Let's move on and select a patient, and review their available data. Click on a patient to load the patient home screen. Once loaded, you will see the live waveform on the top of the screen, and contextual data below. On the grid, you will notice the progression of the waveform as it is updated. The fetal heart rate is the yellow waveform on top, and the maternal contractions are represented in white, on the bottom. If this was a multiple birth patient, there would be multiple fetal heart rate waveforms, represented in different colors for each baby. If the mother was also on a monitor, her heart rate would be represented on the grid with a purple waveform. The strip is scrollable, enabling users to scroll back in time, to view the historical waveform data. You can simply place your finger on the screen and swipe from left to right. Returning to live mode is as simple as clicking the live button in the upper right portion of the screen. When you are in live mode, the button on the screen will be represented in blue. There are 2 color modes for the strip view. Selecting the 3 dots in the upper right portion of the screen will bring up the option to change the mode. To change the color of the strip, select Toggle Strip Colors. This will change the strip to a traditional paper strip color. To get back to the black view, just select the Toggle Strip Colors option again. Below the strip, there is a time indicator label. This will tell you the time of the strip you are viewing. The time shown is the rightmost edge of the strip that is in view. This is also the most recent time of the strip that is on the screen. Again, clicking the Live button puts the strip back to the current time. Below the time indicator, there is a separator bar. This area allows the user to adjust the size of the viewable patient data tiles. Touch the bar and move it up to reveal more data tiles, or move it down to view a larger strip. Putting it back to the top, you can see all of the data tiles available for this patient. Each tile is a summary of the most recent data available for the patient. To see a more detailed view of the data, click on the tile. Data can be reviewed historically. Some data will be represented in a layout that supports scrolling. One other feature is the ability to view annotations, as they correspond to a specific point in time on the strip. When viewing the annotations, selecting one will show the point in time on the strip that the annotation was entered. To close a data tile, click the X in the top right corner of the expanded data view. Any additional data that isn't linked to a specific data group is visible in the miscellaneous tile. The annotations for a patient are entered by the nursing team into the fetal monitoring system. AirStrip uses this as read-only data to populate the annotation data. There is also one additional view option for the data tiles. Select the three dots at the top right of the screen, and the options list will appear. Selecting wide portrait columns will widen each data tile to the full width of the screen. This will allow for a little more in-depth view of the data. The last feature is the ability to share the patient context with another AirStrip user. The share option uses AirStrip's secure messaging component. Again, select the three dots to bring up the options list. The share button brings up a list of AirStrip users that are available to receive the patient information, and allows the sharing of the patient's data via a direct link, with the option to type in a short message. The recipient will receive the link to the patient's strip, along with the typed message. Tapping the included link will take the user directly to the patient data that was being observed when the link was shared. AirStrip does include a timeout for each user session, which is customizable. This timeout is set based on the facility's security policy. Typically, this is set to around 15 minutes. This allows the user to come in and out of the application, without having to log back in, each time the app is opened. The user can take phone calls, send text messages, or temporarily set the application down to do other work, while maintaining quick access to their OB patients. Finally, to manually log out of the system, select the menu in the top left corner of the screen, and tap on the gear icon in the bottom right corner of the screen. This will bring up the logout option. Once selected, the session will be ended and the user is returned to the list of available sites. This concludes our overview of the AirStrip ONE OB module. If there are any questions, please let us know. Thank you again for choosing AirStrip.